Okay, I'm talking about the biography project, the 2016-2017 edition. This project that you were handed either Monday or Tuesday incorporates a whole bunch of things. It incorporates the biography project dates, the overall due dates for each quarter's due dates. It includes some tips on how to write an extraordinary biography, which of course we will go over in class when that time comes. It also incorporates and includes all of the questions that you're going to need for every single quarter. I do this because I know that some students have grandparents that are coming from overseas to visit, and you may need to do this project when they come in, and that might be during Thanksgiving, so you might want to get all your questions answered then. For others of you, this doesn't really matter, and you can space it out 3 interviews over the course of the next year. The first part talks about what the purpose of this is, which is one, to use primary source research, your grandparent, to create a biography of the oldest person, the oldest generation that you have alive. Hopefully for most of you, this is your grandparent. If you can't talk to your grandparent because they speak a different language or in a part of the world where you can't get a hold of them or they have already all passed away, then certainly you can do your mom or your dad or an aunt or uncle if you would like. So we talked about the time frame and our learning targets. I really want to focus on our time frame for quarter 2. Quarter 2, we're going to focus on that oldest person's childhood and ask about their childhood and their teen years. So really about 0 to 16 or 17. Today and yesterday in class, we talked about the big picture and why we're doing this assignment. The part of it is so that you can understand how your history applies to the history of the past, so how past history apply to your contemporary life, but also understanding your personal history and how do you use the detective process to craft your own biographical narrative, which is what historians do all of the time. So again, going back to our deadlines, October 24th and 25th, we spent some time going over the assignment, explaining it, and then we crafted some more questions that we wanted to answer. We're going to come in on Wednesday and Thursday of this week with the person that we want to do and the date that we are going to do it. That is all we're coming in with. Your interview is not due till the 20th and 29th, so that you have time over Thanksgiving break to sit down and do this if you need it. You're going to compile your interview, make sure you've got everything together. So then in class on the 30th or December 1st, 30th is A Day, December 1st for B Day, is when you're going to have time in class to make a draft. That means you're going to be giving roughly about 80 minutes in class to work on typing up your interview. If you bring your device to class with earphones, then you'll be able to listen to your interview, pause it, write what they said, pause it again, then, start it back up, listen some more, then pause it and write. And you can repeat this process. Whatever you don't finish in class will then be some homework that you'll need to have done by the following Monday and Tuesday so that we can do conferences and revisions and have this really done by December 12th and 13th, where you're just really fixing mistakes. And we're going to bring the final product to class on the 16th, which is a Friday. So everybody's project will be finally due that day for quarter 2. And then we'll share it and give any feedback. So again, you will use your family culture interview, but also just, which you may or may not have done with your grandparent, but you're really just zooming in to an elder in your family in each phase of your relative's life. We may not get into the visual part of it, but we certainly will be doing the textual biography of this person's life through the rest of this school year. So it's broken up into 3 different parts. The next step that we talked about is choosing and writing the questions about their youth. These are example questions, and you may choose 6 of them. Then you have to write 4 of your own questions. So think about your first, think about what you already know and what you would like to know more about. We really didn't do that first interview, but that's okay. You still can think about what would you like to know more about. What are questions that you have that aren't in here? Things like maybe what was your favorite foods? What were your parents like? What were your friends like? How would you describe those different things? How would you describe your neighborhood? So step 2 is due Wednesday or Thursday. You're going to plan your interview, the relationship to me, like whose parent are they? Interview date and time. You can kind of make this approximate, but like Thanksgiving break or over the weekend or over the next weekend. And then we will move on to part 2 in a later time. That'll be for quarter 3 and quarter 4. But again, if you're doing the whole thing at once, you're going to ask these questions and add 4 more of your own. And then again, do another audio recording. So hopefully this gives you an intro and an understanding of what we're doing, a broad overview, and also a timeline for this quarter. And a reminder that we're going to bring in our interview and everything in November 30th and December 1st.